Hey guys, Youngblood with you with yet another Mercury Star Runner video, this time doing a quick cargo run because I think it's one of our primary reasons that you would actually have a Star Runner, so I wanted to see how it performs. Now numerically you get a little bit of an idea, right? You know that it can carry 96 SCU of cargo, you can carry more in your shielded storage area and your Smuggler's hold, so your grand total ends up being 114 SCU of cargo, which actually makes it a grander cargo hauler than something like the Constellation Andromeda. It gets in there a little bit closer to something like the Freelancer Max. So what I plan to do in a future video is really break down the differences between those three and maybe add in another just to kind of help call out some of the differences and where things are a little bit more successful than others to point you in the right direction when it comes to choosing a ship. So what I really wanted to do this for was to get a better idea of, is the flight model on the MSR something that really directly applies to cargo hauling or not? And inherently what we've talked about before was that it flies very well. It rolls well, it accelerates well, it gets in and out of atmosphere well, and that last piece is what really made me interested in this being a cargo hauler, specifically leveraging the MSR for the task. Primarily because if you're able to get in and out of atmosphere quickly, you're spending less time, and the less time you spend on your cargo mission, that means the higher UEC per dollar, UEC per minute that you're going to make. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. You know, you may carry 560 something SCU of cargo, excuse me, in a Caterpillar, but if this takes 40% less time, there's some situations there where you may end up being able to get more UEC per minute, which means you're netting more at the end of the day. The other one that I want to look at this with, and for the record, I don't think it's going to compete with the Caterpillar when it comes to cargo hauling. But where I think this one really potentially shines is when you start talking about higher value commodities, whether those be drugs, medical supplies, some of those that are a little bit more expensive, a little bit more rare, harder to find. And even if you could buy 560 something SCU of stems or of altrucia toxin or whatever it may be, you wouldn't want to because you'd spend an eternity trying to sell it. So overall, this is a mid-range cargo hauler that does other functions as well, and that's what we're really going to be testing here. So general impressions when it comes to this, I think it does a very, very nice job. It flies really well in atmosphere. You're able to get down to an outpost. You're able to land quickly. It doesn't take up a lot of space, so even if you don't want to land on a landing pad, you can technically just land next to the building that's got the banana on it for storage. And it's a pretty good experience overall. It's got a much smaller footprint than some of the other ships, so it's a little bit easier to kind of navigate where you're landing it, and it just controls a lot better. As far as the design of the cargo area, really well done. It is tall enough to be able to fit 3 boxes high, and it goes several boxes deep. It looks like it leverages the space very effectively. One of the things that I didn't show you in my, 3 other videos I've done on the ship already because I've been a little bit sloppy in releasing them with all the information at once, again, apologies there, is the Smuggler's hold outside the cargo area. So I'm going to show here how you can actually get to it from the underside of the ship when you actually go through the doors, kind of in the hallways. That being said, there is a way to actually access that from the cargo area as well. It's behind a hidden compartment, so I'll show you that in just a moment. But once we get into there, you can see that there are the kind of hidden, or this area in here, there are cargo pads, and that's where these 6 crates end up sitting. To access this from the cargo area, there is a hidden compartment. You actually just open up that compartment, and then there's one of the door switches that's behind it, and that's where you can actually do it. So, as far as the overall experience using the Star Runner for cargo, I actually really enjoyed it. It's a ship I enjoy flying anyways, which means I'm inherently more likely to use it anyways. I also had in the last patch, a situation where I ran a full cat of Laranite that ended up getting 30k'd, which meant I lost 1.4 million credits in that incident, and it really just kind of scared me out of trading. 96 SCU or 114 SCU of cargo is a much more manageable number, even with the higher value stuff or the higher dollar stuff, where I like using this, and I'm going to be using it to kind of ease myself back into the trading because I've got a little PTSD about it. But aside from that, it flies well, it lands well, it stores the cargo well. It's hard for people to kill this ship because it is fast and durable enough, but it's not going to really replace something like a Caterpillar or a Carrack right now for just sheer volume hauling. It's not designed to do that. The last thing I wanted to recommend for you all is if you are going to be using the MSR, upgrade it's got all grade 2, or it's size 2 grade C industrial parts. For the most part, that doesn't really matter. I would probably consider upgrading your shields. You also really want to upgrade your quantum drive. That bowl-on drive that comes in stock is very, very, very slow. You may not need to go all the way up to something like an XL1, but you probably get a lot of value in return, at least going to something like a crossfield, which is what the freelancers use anyways. And then the last thing I actually wanted to show you was one of the exit points that's in the kind of under smuggling areas does come into your engineering. We've looked at it several times. We haven't found a way to actually enter it from the engineering area, but you can exit into the engineering area. It's just a door that you looked at. I hadn't shown it to you before, so I wanted to make sure that you guys have actually seen this one, because things keep coming up that I wasn't aware of, and I'm just trying to get it all out of the way in as few videos as possible, but again, it's a lot. So anyways, that's another MSR video. Stay tuned for yet another one coming here pretty soon, probably next couple days. If you have questions on any of this, please let me know. Otherwise, this ship keeps getting thumbs up for me, and that's it. So have yourselves a wonderful day, and take care.